The reason I say I want 3/8 clearance in between the bottom of the door and the top of the threshold. If it was any less than that, as this thing was coming across, it would just rip it off. Because as you farther out you get to the outside of the door, you see you got a little bit of space here, but that's okay because you're tight back here, and that's what you want. You don't want this thing to be dragging, because first time you close the door it's going to rip it right off. Okay, this is why it's important to get that distance correct. See, you've got or 3/8 of an inch from the top of the threshold to the bottom of the door. By the time it pulls in, you can see this last is starting to straighten up, but the first one is still good and solid tight. Now the reason I'm saying 3/8 of an inch from here is because, see, we're about a 7-degree angle. Since this is the outside of the house, rainwater is going to hit this and it's going to run off. If it was flat, then there'd be a chance of water getting under here and running inside. So you always want to have some kind of a fall or an angle on your threshold. That's why we have probably close to a 1/2 inch here and 3/8 back here. So that's one thing you need to be aware of. Okay, now that we've got our doors hung, we're gonna, and this is assuming you all have this old style T Astragal on there that's on the door now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the T Astragal off. However you can get it off. You may have to take the door off, cut it off with a skill saw or something, and then we're going to rip the outside edge off of there. Okay, now we have cut this off of this one, and so now we need to get the other one that goes on here that's got that kerf weather strip. Okay, what we need to do, see, we're going to cut it here, not on this side, but we're going to cut this across here because we need this distance from here to where this is going to be cut for our weather strip to fit in here, so that we can nail or screw this onto our door. Okay, and this is what we're winding up with. We got the distance from here to our weather strip, so we got to screw or glue it and nail it onto the door, or you can screw it and glue it, either way, because it will have some pressure on it when the doors get closed, so you need to make sure it gets good connection. Alright, now we can see through the door because we've cut off that outside of that T Astragal. So I've got to measure from the very top of the doorstop to the top of the foam. Is this piece, this edge is going to this edge, just like this, so that you've got either just a hair over or it's flush. Don't let it go under. Okay, we've got that on. Now we can put our weather strip in there, but I got to show you one thing. At the top of that T Astragal, you've got to have a little clearance so you'll be able to open that door. If we had our door lock on there, we would have a great seal all the way to the bottom. And the last thing, you can see there's no light showing through. Well, that's the very bottom of the threshold. Oop, we got a little bit showing right there. That's easily fixed. You just shim the door bottom down a little bit.